What up, anybody, and welcome to the new episode of the SVR podcast. So, today, guys, we have another independent artist that is from UK. His name is Lil Pete, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, bro. What are you saying? You good?
How you doing, fam? Welcome to the show.
No, thank you for having me on, bro.
So, Lil P, you know what you're doing, right? All I have to do with you is asking you 10 questions about your experiences, favorite food that you have been eating for a long time ago, but you still loving it at the same time, and some favorite video games that you have played when you was like little.
hmm
It's either if you wanted to not keep going, you have to do shorter if you feel like you can do it. Or if you wanted to do it longer, that means you gotta keep going to explain it fully as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, that's all cool, man.
So without any further ado, let's jump into it. First question. What made you start to make your music? Like how it actually went from the beginning to now?
See how it went from the beginning to now. Well, I actually started writing, 2.5 years ago. I've only been rapping for 2 years, but I started writing 2.5 years ago. And the story behind that was, to be honest, it was actually going through a lot of like bad stuff, man, like mental health, depression, and that. And writing it down in like poetry form was kind of like a good outlet to kind of express what was going on inside my head. So at first I started off with poetry. It wasn't even rapping really. For the first 6 months, it was mainly poetry. Like today I'm feeling like shit, just a little bit. I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna quit and all this. It was just poetry. And then I met some guy who was a Jamaican guy and he heard the poetry and he was like, try and put it into lyrics. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. And then he kind of just took me out on the streets and that, and he just taught me how to do it. And then from there, man, I just enjoyed it so much that I just done it 24/7, and I've just naturally done it since. It wasn't even planned; it just kind of happened, man.
In the beginning, you was like starting from the bottom.
hmm
Now you get the recognition of what you need somehow.
Sometimes, man. I mean, I'm still at the bottom, I guess. Like I'm still trying to work my way up, and kind of like I'm not famous and that. Like a lot of people think that, oh, like this guy's a rapper. I'm just a normal person, man. I'm just normal person with a normal life, and I'm just trying to make it better, man, and just hopefully put in all the effort that I do into my music. Hopefully, like hit a lot of people and help them to kind of be inspired or to influence them to kind of go, well, if this guy can do it, then so can I. Maybe one day it will pay off and give me a career, man.
Next question. Do you have any albums/singles dropping this year? If yes, then can you tell me when?
You see, I'm working on an album. It's my debut album, so I'm working on that one. That I'm hoping that if all goes to plan, I should have that released by the end of the year, latest. Hopefully, November, December kind of time. That's what I'm hoping for, very latest. But that's only because I'm gonna have maybe between 15 and 20 tracks on that whole album with a good versatility and all different kind of genres. So
Hopefully.
yeah.
Because I heard that you're going in this year you're going in the cipher, like
hmm
actually two ciphers.
Yeah, the Dynamic Cypher 7. And I'm not too sure what he's calling it, but Champion the Rapper,
Uh
his cipher as well.
yeah.
But yeah, the Dynamic Cypher 7, that's my debut on that one. I mean, he's got 6 of them out already that I won his YouTube at Dynamic Music. He's got 6 of them on there, and this is my debut on the 7th one, but that's out on the 1st of July. So not long, man.
Yeah. Hopefully it will get released as soon as possible. Because
The
there's
release date, the release date on that's the 1st of July. So not long.
first July, the second month of the summer.
hmm
Yeah. Next question. What are your future plans that have you actually planned one in your mind? If yes, can you tell me it?
In the long run, like I'd say in the future, I just wanna be successful, man. That's pretty much about it. I just wanna provide for my missus and my kid. Maybe have more kids in the future. Just have a steady home, man, to raise them from, and basically just be successful, man, and be the best person of myself that I can be. And that's pretty much all my goals in life, man. To keep doing the music, keep resonating with people, and just to make my family proud and just be the best person I can be.
Next question. Who's your favorite rapper that you have been listening to a while back? There's many of them, but you can name somehow some of underrated rappers that, when you was a smaller child, whatever, you just listen to the hip hop genre and can you
You
name
see,
them?
when it comes to old school rappers, like my taste has changed throughout the years, man. Like there's when I was a little kid, it was 50 Cent, Eminem. I mean, Eminem's always stayed with me, man. Like I've always listened to Eminem. Like they're probably Eminem's definitely probably one of my most favorite rappers. But when it comes to the UK, I noticed a lot of the UK big rappers I actually don't rate that much. There's a few of them like Kano, Tansky, things like that. But when it comes to like underground rappers and rappers that say a lot of people haven't really heard of, there's a few rappers that I'd class up there with like the top guys, like Dynamic, for instance. There's that guy after hearing the My Story EP that he dropped. That story there is like lyrically, it's so good that I feel like someone like Eminem could hear that and go, "Rah, that guy is sick." And you've got another song like Paralysis and things like that. So Dynamic, even though a lot of people probably hasn't heard of him, I feel like he is up there with say the top guys. And there's a few of them, like who's another one? Like G Kid. I don't know if you ever heard of G Kid. People always get me and him confused and say, "Oh, like you and G Kid sound similar." But he's another one that when it comes to like spitting bars and flows and stuff like that, he's up there. So my taste is a bit weird, man. I'm always looking for underground, smaller artists because I feel like they say a lot more things and they put a lot more effort into their writing than some of the top guys do. If you get me.
Next question. Favorite nostalgia video game that you played like a while ago. And what do you love it so much when you was playing?
You see, the only video games I never really played video games that much. I mean, as a kid, I'd play FIFA, and that was pretty much all I played: FIFA and Call of Duty. They were the only two games I really played, and then obviously I'd play GTA. But if I had to pick one game, it'd be FIFA. And I don't know what it was, but I was just naturally gifted at that game. That I was like, I think I was ranked number 2 in the UK at one point on that game. I think I was always really good at that game. Like, I've become a bit of a nerd.
I mean, FIFA is a soccer game, Call of
Hmm.
Duty and GTA is the shooting game. But GTA is like more based how the storyline works and
Yeah,
how
yeah,
the
yeah.
missions work, pretty much combined. Pretty much the first ever game that you played, I refer to GTA. I think it's either GTA 3, San Andreas, or Vice City. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the first GTA I ever played was Vice City,
Oh
and that might have
yeah.
been on PS. I think in PS1, I think, or PS2. I can't remember. I think it might have been PS1. In all fairness, PlayStation One, but and then FIFA. I actually was playing FIFA before I could even walk. So FIFA, I was always into FIFA since I was a baby, man. That game was always the one for me. I don't know why, but I could play that before I could walk. So it was like I've always kind of played that.
Yeah, man. Vice City to me, it was like I'm going to this location in real life. Vice City was based on Miami, and sometimes these missions should have been like at least 2-3 minutes or so,
Hmm.
because these missions from every single GTA game are just really short. It's like 1 minute straight.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. The old GTA's, the missions and stuff were a lot longer and a lot better, in my opinion, than the ones now. The ones now you can complete the whole game in a day, whereas back in the day, it take you weeks or months, man.
Yeah. Our next question. Now this one is interesting. When did the name of Little Pete came from in your mind? And can you tell me why you actually think it will suit well as your own rap stage name?
Well, believe it or not, it was kind of a weird one. Like, even before rap, Little Pete was kind of my name. Like, when I was a little bit younger, I was like, say, when I was out on the street and I was messing about and I was getting involved with the wrong people and doing things that maybe I shouldn't have been doing and things like that. It was where there was a couple of Peters, a couple of Petes, and I was always the youngest. I was the youngest of the group. So it was like, instead of calling me Pete, they'd be like, hey, yo, little Pete. Or like little Pete, come here, little Pete, and all this. So kind of when I started doing music, it was like naturally come to me that like little Pete, because people would be like, oh, like, have you heard little Pete? He's been writing music, and this was before my name was even Little Pete. That people would be calling me Little Pete, so it's always kind of stuck.
I mean, there are like guys who already took the name of Little Pete.
Hmm?
The most popular one is just the regular Little Pete.
See, and that's another thing. Like, I didn't even know there was any rappers called Little Pete, because at the time it was like, I don't know. I didn't even look, to be honest. I was just like, because everyone kept calling me Little Pete. When I went on Black Box, they were like, "What's your name?" And when I went on the Black Box, I didn't really have a name. I weren't really named as a rapper. I was like my first thing. So it was like, I'm just gonna put down Little Pete because I'm Pete and everyone calls me Little Pete. And then when they released it and they put Little Pete Black Box, it kind of just stuck from there, man. And it was like, all right, that's my rap name now. And then when I got home, it was like I looked at Little Pete, and then this other guy kept coming up, and I was like, oh shit, some guy's got my name.
Next question. If you could open a show slash a tour for any artist, then who will it be?
Who would I go on tour with?
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, it's tough. I know there's few of them, but at least for the first time ever,
see, I would say Eminem, but everyone says Eminem, man. Everyone would say Eminem. So it's like I want to find someone. I want to be different and put. Do you know what? If I had to pick any rapper to go on tour with, it'd probably be Little Dicky, man.
Lil Dicky.
Yeah, he's some funny guy.
I don't know if he doesn't know you.
He doesn't know me. He wouldn't know me yet. Maybe one day, man. But yeah, if I had to pick out of any artist, it'd definitely be Eminem. But if it was like besides Eminem, because everyone wants to talk of Eminem, it'd have to be Little Dicky, man. I don't know what it is. I feel like he's just funny.
Or maybe like something more about more independent. I think you could go with start with Dynamic.
If you what are we talking about? Like smaller artists to go on tour with and perform with.
Yeah,
It'd definitely be Dynamic, man. Dynamic. I don't know what it is, but I feel like me and him on a stage together, it'd just be like the vibes and that would just be dope, man. Like me and Dynamic on a stage together, ripping it up would just be mad. So yeah, it'd be if it was like a smaller artist, an independent artist, definitely be Dynamic, man. So big up Dynamic. And if it was someone like a bigger artist, like a well-known artist, if it weren't Little Dicky, it'd be Dax. I like Dax, man. Dax is sick. It's the anger and shit that he brings is just next level, man.
yeah. I mean, I can imagine you and Dax in the same stage together, and just like it will be like a dream come true.
Yeah, definitely, man. Little Pete and Dax.
The janitor and um, how can you say when you I think a lot of people that have been influenced by M, they just think, oh, when they go every single independent underrated rap artist, they just go one by you, one by Champion the Rapper.
Yeah,
it's okay to get influenced by Eminem because you could clearly see that you will get a catalog.
Now, there's a few artists, man, that I get influenced by. Eminem, probably one of the biggest influences, but then people like Dax and people like Tom McDonald and all these other kind of people, man, they just. But then lately, I've been getting influenced from Dynamic a lot because there's something about him that's different and something that I like. So I've been getting influence from him. And where I'm only 2 years into the game now, there's still things I'm learning off new people every time I hear them. So
Definitely.
it's I'm still learning, man.
Next question. What's your favorite food that you have been eating? There's a lot of UK food that you have eat. Can you tell me what's your favorite one that you mostly love?
Yeah,
What?
actually, I had it today. I had it today. I don't know if you get it in America, but we get it in the UK. It's called favorite chicken.
Oh, like favorite flavor chicken.
Favorite chicken. So like favorite chicken. That's mate, that's nice, man. Favorite chicken. I get this burger. It's like chicken fillet, onion rings, lettuce. It's just nice, man. Then I get some spicy wings and that, and then yeah, man, it's nice.
Yeah,
So that's my favorite, man.
was it delicious?
Yeah, it was actually really good.
Next question. How will you describe yourself musically that you usually create? Like, when you start out from the bottom, a lot of people have been asking themselves, like, how would they describe their music that they usually create? Would they describe it as like, oh, sometimes I'm still learning whatever and something like that. So, how will you describe it to yourself?
It's different, man. Different in like the way that there's a lot of bars that I'll put in my track that not a lot of people will really catch. I'll put a bar in there and people will be like, oh, that makes no sense. But it might not to someone else, but to me, it does. Like a little um a little example. In the track I'm the devil, I put about I lent you my mic, you won't give it back, you're a cracked up guy with a clapped up wife, you ain't backed by guys, you're only acting the hype when you're smacked off white. And behind that bar, I basically just said, you're a cracked up guy with a clapped up wife and you ain't backed by guys, you're only acting hype when you're smacked off white. Basically meaning he sniffs cocaine, he's smacked off white, he ain't backed by guys, he's lonely. His wife's got chlamydia, so she's clapped up. And he's crackhead, so he's cracked up. But not a lot of people caught that. But when I was writing it, that was actually a really horrible personal diss to him. And he took my mic and wouldn't give it back. So it's like a lot of people thought I was just rhyming, when actually behind that there was actually a very deep personal meaning to him in there.
Damn.
A lot of my bars will do that, but a lot of people don't really notice it. But I don't write stuff that's not real. Anything I write, it's either I've been through it or I'm subliminally dissing somebody.
Hmm, that's tough. Yeah, it could be a metaphor to what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the last question of the day before we can end this: what music means to you when it comes to grind? Like, what musically will mean to you when it comes to like riding? Keep do what you're doing and just get blow up really quick. Like, do they mean something to you? Do they music is the music the reason why you came out?
Music means just like, I know to some people music might just mean, say, money. It might just be, oh yeah, I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna be this, but it's not even that to me, to be honest. The only reason, like, music's my outlet for dealing with my problems. So if I didn't express it through music, I wouldn't have any other way, which means it'd be bottled up. It'd be bottled up inside me and I'd never speak about it. So when it comes to writing my music and like recording the music and just writing my lyrics, when I'm writing it down, that's how some people might talk to a therapist. that's me talking to my therapist. Like that microphone is my therapist, if that makes sense. So that microphone, when I step up to that microphone, I'm then talking my problems into that. And then it goes into the interface. And then before you know it, it's up on YouTube. And then I've got that off my chest. And then
So,
got that off my chest. So that's my therapy, doing my music.
oh,
So that's what it means to me, definitely.
and yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people been saying multiple times that their music is their own therapy.
Hmm. It's definitely therapeutic, man. Like there's some people, it might not work for some people, but if there's any people that like say are struggling and they haven't found that outlet, and like say the doctors or therapists and psychiatrists are saying, oh, just talk to someone. It's not as easy as that. So maybe just write it down, man. Maybe give it a try, and then before you know it, you could end up getting somewhere with it, man. So that's my advice to like anybody else that's say like struggling or suffering with something and hasn't found that outlet. Definitely just pick up a pen, pick up a bit of pen and paper. Just write it down. It doesn't even need to rhyme at first. Just write all your problems down and then go back and maybe try and rhyme it. And if you're naturally good at poetry, then maybe try and rhyme it. And then before you know it, you've got 16 bars, 32 bars. Find a nice instrumental, and next thing you know, you've got a quarter of a track written and laid down, man.
Yeah, it'll be on repeat every time when it got released, and
That's like my track memories, man. Like that's why I just thought a lot of stuff was getting bottled up. So I wrote that down, and now I've got that off my chest. I feel good, man. And I got good responses for it. A lot of people have resonated with it and related to it. So they're like, it makes me feel good, man, knowing that I've actually, someone else out there could have heard and gone, you know what, I'm going through this at the time. So this has helped me. This might inspire me to now write something down. So it's all about helping people, man, and like spreading the positivity out here. So
definitely,
100%, man.
yeah, it is. That was it, guys. Lil Pete, if you have anything that you're gonna say, any last words, will you tell me
Um,
exactly?
yeah, just go and subscribe to my YouTube. Check out some of my tunes, man. In the next month or so, I'll be up and running on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, etc. So I'll have all these platforms that I'll be available on and that you can stream my music on. And also, I've got Lil Pete merch ready, man. So anyone wants any merch, just hit me up on the old emails and that or Instagram, and we can go from there, man. And very soon, when all the merch and that and the process is finished, it will be available on rappabilityrecords.com. So you can go and purchase it from there, or you can go and check out some of the other artists. So yeah, man, just subscribe to my channel, share it about, and when I get on Spotify, just keep streaming and showing love, man. And that's about it, really, bro.
Yeah, the link on my social media will be in the link in the description below as well. If you haven't already, go in that description below. Follow me every day. And I will see you in the next episode. Later.